So that purpose for my high performance leadership was just that. And if you remember, I gave that little speech in August last year. And since then, we have had a number of activities as part of this project to enhance the experience for international students. Now, taking a little bit from what Vic said earlier today, I said, well, what do I want? What do I want to see? And what do I want to happen? And what I did was I said, you know what, I'd like a testimonial from a former student who's been at the Toastmasters Club, been here for his whole tour, his or her whole tour in Canada at the Royal Roads, and what would they say? And this is what I put down as that vision. Royal Roads Toastmaster is a warm and welcoming club. I look forward to the weekly meetings. They were both fun and educational. Everyone spoke so well, and I did not know at first if I could be that good of a speaker. But they reassured me that they would help me. After my first meeting, I was eager to join the club for a minimum of 6 months, and I set a goal to obtain my competent communicator. I wanted to at least achieve that during my time with the club. I met many new friends, and the membership was very diverse, which made for some very interesting speeches. That was the vision that I had in my mind for the international student. How were we going to translate that into some action? Well, I went a step further and said, okay, well, how would you describe that? And I came up with another phrase which I communicated to my team. We welcome the international students and help them to visualize themselves as members of a club that provides many benefits. We help them to see that they can grow their speaking, listening, and leadership skills while improving their English. They realize that regular contact with Canadian Toastmasters helps them to learn more about living in Canada. Those were the two things I communicated to my team. And the team never let me down. In the last 6 months, we have presented the benefits of belonging to the Royal Roads Toastmasters Club to over 150 people in that time frame. Our biggest event was on the 20th of September when we ran 3 sessions of meetings to about 30 people at each meeting. And all of the Toastmasters got engaged in this process to talk about the benefits of belonging to this club. And as a result of some of those promotional events and people catching the fever like this little hot potato here, who caught that vision and expressed to other students what you could do by belonging to Toastmasters. Robert did that. Fabricio did that. Juan did that. And so, you know, it was like that he told one and he told two and he told three, and it becomes a big pyramid of people who have heard about Toastmasters. And gradually we started to see more and more people come out as guests. And as our great Vic Lindahl has told us, sometimes they need more than one exposure. So we had to, you know, we would like to have said we had a 50% sign-up rate or something like that. Well, sometimes it happens a bit slower because people need to be exposed a number of different times to Toastmasters to see how it works, to see if they can visualize it for themselves, of how it can benefit them. So it happened a little slower than we might have thought, but to this date, we also set a number goal. We said we'd like 15 community members, people who live in Victoria and are not going to go back to Ecuador or Mexico or somewhere else after their tour, but people who are going to stick around for a little while. And then 15 students who we know they might be 6 months to 18 months with us, and then they'll move on, and hopefully we'll get another student who will come, get some benefit from Toastmasters, and move on again. So 15 community members, 15 students as a steady state. And we are halfway to our goal at this point in time. We are up just about at 15 members for our club. So I think we've achieved something there. Now, I got some feedback from students. I thought, well, that's fine, but what do the students have to say about this? So I put together a set of questions and said, what or who attracted you to the club? And there was information from some responses I got were information and invitation from newsletters in RRU. One who had been a Toastmaster before, who was Taz, and said, well, I was looking for a local spot to do that, and Barry, our little promoter here, introduced me. Fabricio said, well, Robert invited me to come to a meeting. And Barry said, I want to improve my communication skills and become a leader. So I started to get feedback like that. What would you like to achieve as a member? And the answer was much the same. English, making friends, giving presentations. How can we help you? And Juan said, you're doing very well, thanks very much. So we liked Juan's response. And the other said, you know, the mentorship, the encouragement, all of that helps us. And how can we attract other students? I got lots of good ideas, some of which we'll implement in the new year. And we got lots of good feedback. So we have raised the visibility on campus. We're halfway to that goal for membership. Meetings are lively and new guests are giving us some good feedback about the meetings. Table Topics is exciting, as we witnessed today from a fairly new member who had a pretty exciting Table Topics session. So we're really excited about those sorts of results. So we're continuing to make the experience as good as possible, and I encourage you to continue to participate and tell others to come out. So through this high-performance leadership, I've found that we have learned how to make it communicate those benefits to students, but I also had somebody come up to me at our Christmas party last week and say, you know, I see a real different flavor in the club. It's really nice to have these people from other countries telling us stories. And I think Vic said it very well. He said, we have unity through diversity. And I'm very happy to report these results to the club on my high performance leadership project.